Hey guys, RagingRaptor here and welcome you to a new World of Tanks video where today we have a look at a big questions and answers which, well, was answered by the World of Tanks devs and bloggers. And apparently it was a Russian video, so yeah, I can't speak Russian, so I don't know if everything is true, but I'm taking it now for granted as youuuu told me that this this text here was too much of a pain in the butt to actually format and get every little thingy out, like little fail in grammar, hence why this is not a first April Fool's joke, even though it was published yesterday in 1st April or April Fool's Day. Well, I do hope the video is rendering or rather recording more or less correctly, because I try something in the meantime, which is rendering another video. Yeah, it's probably not the best idea to do, but then again, the problem is I am a little bit on a tight schedule at the moment. So, first big thing, WoT Classic. They tell us they want to give World of Players, well, they want to give the players a taste of how the classic game was. And the client is beyond old. It's 7 years, it's not optimized, doesn't support modern technology. The thing was down, etc, etc. And yeah. Anyway, they said that they didn't just post, like, this is the basic stuff, they're just saying how it was, but this is where it gets interesting. First of all, they want to hear our thoughts, obviously, but then again, it shouldn't be just purely an April Fool's Day prank. It's an experiment and a testing ground for us to check several ideas, e.g. limiting gold ammunition, and we want to hear what you like and don't like and decide on our next steps. Interesting that they say something like this: not only would I appreciate a WoT Classic server for NA and EU separately, because I personally do not want to play on the Russian server. Not only 95% of the people are Russian, so you can't even chat to them. But second to that, also a little bit of a problem. We have a big latency. Even though the server says, yeah, we have 30 milliseconds to the server, it's more than that. Like, I'm pretty sure I have around 200 to even 400 milliseconds latency, and I'm pretty sure that for you, my dear NA or American viewers, it was even worse, and I'm sorry for that. Yeah, basically it simply killed the fun for me in World of Tanks Classic. So then a big thing. What's next for Artillery? Well, they said we're not going to change the mechanics when it comes to stunning. What they want to do though is well, they want to find the right toxicity for Artillery. And I'm just going to point out, World of Tanks, don't sit on such a high horse and say that one of your core mechanics is toxic and we want to make it not too toxic. That's not a good thing, because that makes a lot of people angry. Just wanted to say that, even though it might be what the devs said at that given point, it's really not a good thing to say, because it basically says, oh yeah, we know that Artillery is bad for our game and many people dislike it, but you know what? We don't give a shit about your opinion. That's what we do. That's basically what they're saying with that statement about how toxic is too toxic. Well, they want to do a 3-step stun revision plan. The first thing being that they want to reduce the effects of continuous stun, which, well, the end is a nice step into the right direction. Nevertheless, one thing which is kind of starting to scare me is that if those steps work, or this first step works, we'll proceed to the second one, and then the third and most drastic step, there we go, that involves returning AP shells. No! Please do not do this. I don't give a poop about however you want to introduce it. It's not a good idea. Not only will it skyrocket it will also once again give us back the ridiculous AP penetration damage. You even call it yourself. It will work how regular AP, well, they say it will be different than regular AP. Excuse me that I misread that. The plan is to give the players a choice between damage that's lower, covers a larger area, splash effect, damage several targets, or an AP damage that is likely to send an enemy back to the garage, but also has high risk of missing the target. This one right here, I don't know if it's a bad translation thing or just some random talk of a random dev, but this is not a good thing. You just nerfed FV4005 stage 2. and this by a significant margin. You nerfed that. Because you said, well, it is a Death Star basically, and it can nuke things. And now you even changed the Type 5 Heavies, which also have those nuking guns. But now we want to reintroduce it with something which has even less counterplay, which makes you fap in the corner, or the furthest back corner possible, without doing anything and having, again, literally no counterplay except for facing it or, well, camping behind a house. No. I do hope that this was an April Fool's joke. I do hope that AP is not going to come back. Because again, they just said or stated it like here, likely to send an enemy back to garage, but also has a high risk of missing the target. Again, do not do that. That is too toxic. Okay? Good. Here they're just talking about why exactly it's so toxic that you can get so much stun damage from several shells and why they're changing. Yeah, that's about it. Will you revise personal battle missions simultaneously with Arty Rebalance? It's impossible to do those two things simultaneously. It is possible, but whatever. First, we need to collect stats on rebalanced artillery for the least 4 weeks of stats and a further week of analysis, and then some additional time to change mission conditions. Well, yeah, it's not too much about to say there, to be honest. Like, yeah, I don't know what I should say to that. Arty missions are Arty missions, yeah. Will you reduce the number of artilleries per battle? It's just no. They're saying that when they would make it to less or limited to 2, that there would be more games without, or with, there will be never games without our SPGs, etc, etc. Just talking about why exactly, yeah. To be honest, still 3 artilleries are a little bit strong, but even though those changes which they proposed over here could lessen the effect of permanently stunning an enemy. Except, of course, when 2 Artys in the enemy team are somewhat good and actually use their brains, they can still perma-stun you, because they're just going to add the stun after you are unstunned anymore. Well, our plans to tackle team damage issues, both involving Arty and in general. And, well, they said that they tried to or disable team damage in frontline and now plan larger scale testing. And we might even see it, or the chances are high that we won't see it in the second half of 2019. I do like the change, to be honest, because it happened to me now several times that when I was trying to free mark my EBR 105 that I got team killed by some lovely players which think I didn't spot enough. And you know, when you already lost a lot of HP and then tend to be a little bit less aggressive, and then somebody's like, oh, look, he's bad, he's going to spam. Yes, it's not a big good thing when you then now lose about because of that 0.5% in your gun mark, which is basically 2 good games or around 20 to 30 minutes depending how the games go of grinding. Hooray. No, seriously, I do like the changes which would neglect team damage. Interesting would be, how is stun damage countered? Can now Artillery say, you know what, I don't give a shit anymore, I'm just going to shoot into the little space and hit my allies and it won't matter anyway, because that could actually be pretty unbalanced if you think about it, because then the artillery will just shoot wherever they want and don't need to think even less. So yeah, but then again, it helps because you can't get angry at them because they can't do damage, but they could leech a kill. So yeah, I do think though overall, even though looking at other issues, I do think that disabling team damage is a good plan. I look forward to it when they are going to disable it. Gold shell ammo pricing. You promised the changes a year ago. Nothing happened. Yes, you were a little bit slow, my dear friends. Within 2 months, they want to change or show up some balancing changes on the sandbox server. And they want to see how their pricing will be, how the core gameplay will be, and how like ±2 battles will feel. Not much else to add from my side over there. Yes, so the ammo rebalance will lead to battle setup changes. How will you regulate it? First, we need to see how they'll change, they're saying. That will be done on the sandbox. Then again, don't forget, sandbox is a sandbox server. Nobody takes it serious, at least the players, I guess. And it's not live server, so yeah. And they were going to feature everything, so from tier 4 to tier 10, which is actually pretty interesting. However, from experience, super test results aren't always representative. Yes, they are definitely not, because that's why we got the Object 268 version 4. Testers don't have the time to digest changes. The very same people playing in the very same condition for a long period of time, often different, sometimes a completely opposite judgment. Yeah. Here they're blaming their super testers for being stupid, if I think about it. What will you do with tanks will become insufficient when played without gold shells? I do think that's a pretty interesting question, and then again I have to say, well, maybe their reign will be over, and they already teased how exactly they want to change it and what exactly is going to change. But yeah, when replacement occurs, it's likely to involve all shells, not just gold ones. And again, this is a huge opportunity for wargaming to actually do something really interesting and open up a spectrum of differences, of making tanks more unique, making the game more unique. And I can't stress this enough. Like, you can change a lot over here. You can make AP shells slow, increase damage, map penetration. You can make APCR lightning fast, loses a lot of penetration over distance, not as much damage as AP. Heat, not losing any penetration, but decent enough. It has the same damage as APCR. Like, you can, or say even that heat makes more module damage, or rather more crew damage, while APCR is better for module damage. Like, again, I'm pretty sure Wargaming will not introduce this because they think we are fucking morons. Like, they think that 95% of the player base are actually stupid and don't care about learning the game. Which may be or maybe not right, whatever. The point is, I do think that if they're going to change ammunition in general, it has a huge opportunity to make this game more interesting and add things to it. Again, special shell types, APHE for example, AP normal, heat, APCR, fin stabilized APCR. I don't freaking know, really. There's a lot of things which could be done to make the game more interesting again and give diversity in it, and not just simply have, oh yeah, everybody spams heat anyway. Yeah, that's my two potatoes to that. Maps, blacklist and returning of old maps. Like, they want to introduce blacklisting of maps. Maybe that's even part of the new premium account, but nevertheless, you can blacklist one map, and that's actually huge, because when I want to free mark an EBR 105, I'm going to blacklist Himmelsdorf, obviously. But then again, it can lead, especially for free marking things, it can lead to the numbers rising, obviously, because everybody which wants to free mark the EBR won't like to play on Himmelsdorf, so they're going to blacklist it, meaning that in general, where like Himmelsdorf is putting the numbers down a little bit because you hardly will be able to do 4.8k combined damage on a map, other maps which you won't see this anymore, the average will rise, but this could be a small problem. But then again, it's just one map, which I do like. And they also say they are happy how positive players are about Frontline. Again, the grind is a little bit heavy and the gameplay gets pretty darn dull after a while. I do like though that they acknowledge that we need more maps for Frontline to be actually fun. And they're also saying they're going to do changes where, especially with the jumping aim bug. Kudos to that. Matchmaker, it comes on the 3rd of April. That's tomorrow. Nice, I guess. I didn't have time to test it because I was all up in my butt with Frontline. So again, I couldn't test it, to be honest. But it looks promising, it looks decent. We need more focus on +-1 matchmaking. Even in tier 10, we need more focus on +-1 matchmaking, because playing genuinely 12 out of 14 games tier 10 only gets dull pretty quickly, when especially you are in a meta of gold spammy. And Object 430U, Object 277, T100LT dominance. So yeah. But I do think it's a nice idea, and I will look forward to that and will give my 2 cents about that later on. So, next up about mods. They want to allow players to be able to maybe anonymize their stats, similar to Fog of War. That's pretty interesting in my personal opinion, and They also want to make mods a little bit prohibited more. A new ban wave is coming, and they might even think about only allowing mods to the game which are approved by, I don't know, like a token or something, which they only, or the mod makers can only get when they publish a mod which is allowed on the mod hub. And I do think it's a great idea. Next up, voice chat. I don't want to speak about it anymore. It's not really necessary, or it's not really decent, I think. Next up, esports. They they actually understand that esports in World of Tanks doesn't work because there's too much RNG in it. Good to see that you actually understand that. So yeah, we won't see a lot of esports anymore, but we will see more of those regional 3v3s, 77s, and clan skirmishes, or even some random, I don't know, what's streamer versus streamer stuff. So these things. About wheeled vehicles in random battles and front lines. The basic of this is they want to have a look at wheeled vehicles and light tanks in front line. That's the whole thing. Because, and guys, I can totally succumb to that. Yes, I do play a lot of light tanks in front line. Especially the EBR 75 FL10, because it's perfectly suited for that. There's nothing else to say. It's simply perfect. Hence why I play it so lot. So maybe they're going to change it. I don't know how they want to change it. Maybe less ammo, maybe less fuel range. I don't know. Maybe one consumable less, which would be totally okay. But then again, please, I swear, give Arty only 1 or 2 consumables and not 3. Not 3 combat reserves. And for the random battles, they're saying that they do not have enough stats yet. And honestly, I do trust them on that one. Even though at the moment, when we have a look at the server stats on EU under WoT Live, if it's actually going to open up, go figure. I want to show something. Obviously, it's not working. Hooray. Even though it is one of the highest non-reward tanks win rates on the cluster. But then again, I do have to say, guys, I personally played at around 66 to 70% win rate, and other really high skill players do the same thing. So I do think at the moment it's a little bit hard to understand because it's a completely new line. Back with the Object 268 version 4, many people already had this line, already many people played those vehicles. Now we are at tier 10 only and have a look at max win rate at the moment, and you can see it's one of the highest over here. It is actually the highest win rate of non-reward tanks vehicle, but it's pretty close to the Object 268 version 4. Oh, excuse me, wrong one. It's not that close, but between 1%, and the Panhard is played by 4,000 people and the Object 268 version 4 by 64,000. And 81,000 by the Object 430U. So then again, I do have to say, yes, 54.64% win rate is a lot. Then again, it's only 4K players. Yeah, where meanwhile those tanks over here have 64 and 81 players and have comparable, well, yes, worse win rate, but still. By the way, what's the worst one? Oh yeah, Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. Who plays that shit anyway? Also, we just saw about this rebalancing. I don't want to. You already saw the stats. I can go quickly over them. The HE gun of the Type 5 and Type 4 Heavy gets nerfed from 1,100 on the standard shells to 900, and from the premium shells to 750 from 1,400. Nice. It gets to that 192 penetration and is considered a hash shell. Tank gets slightly faster. Blah. Gets slightly faster backwards. No. 3 degrees faster turn rate. Ugh. Tank gets more HP to turn ratio. Standard shell gets a little bit better penetration, which is okay, I guess. But then again, 3 millimeters and 8 millimeters on AP or premium shells is not a lot. And lastly, gets a little bit more accurate on the turning. I don't like that either. FV gets also a really big chunk of nerfs. I don't want to. 3 kilometers slower front, 4 kilometers backwards slower, loses 100 horsepower, gets slower degrees, 4 degrees gets really shafted in accuracy, 0.04 worse, and loses or gains 0.7 seconds aim time. Overall, all nerfs for the FV. I don't really like them, but yeah, at least Type 4, Type 5 Heavy gets changed. Now, perks rebalance. This is something I've waited for approximately now more than 2 years. I love what they're writing here. Like, I genuinely love what they are writing over here. Rebalance of perks that grew outdated. Yes, that's totally necessary. Nobody gives a poop about, well, radio operator skills. No one, okay? Granting assistance to all tank commanders by default is a huge change and will help so many new players understanding the game. Thank God. Like, oh my days. Ability to store and pass over crew experience. This is also amazing. Redesign of crew UI and most likely removal of barracks if it proves possible. I don't know about this one right here, but then again, my days, there's so many good changes, and you know what, my dear friends and followers? That's basically what we will see, or what we already see in World of Warships, and I've already said it a lot. World of Warships captain thingy works pretty darn good. Like, you can basically, the major thing about it is, it doesn't matter how good or how bad your commander is, it has 50% or 100%. Your ship always behaves the same. That's one major thing. What changes though is, as long as your commander is not at 100%, only your skills will only act as 50%. Meaning, for example, instead of having 2% quick reload for each percent of HP you lose, it's only 1%. Or when it's just like a minimal thing, like you get an additional plane or something, it gives no plane. But the basic thing is that your ship always behaves the same, and I would definitely love to see that coming to World of Tanks, because this removes 2 out of 3 major roadblocks for newbies. The first one being, again, 50% crews. The second one being having no sixth sense, which then again they want to give for everybody. And the third one being ridiculous hard stock grinds. And then again, it removes 2 of them. Like, honestly, this crew retraining or perk rebalancing, it has... Honestly, I think it has a huge impact on how the game will be after 2019. Might be even the step where World of Tanks regains its popularity again and gains a lot more viewers or more players. That's what I personally think at the moment. They don't know yet how they want to change it, because the problems are right here that a lot of players already wasted a lot of money in those crew members, in training them and so on and so on and so on. I don't know a good answer to that, but again, I have to say, I don't know, maybe per crew skill, maybe per crew skill you have, if they completely want to change it, get 10 gold or something. So for my commander in the EBR, it would be like 50 gold, and it is a crew member of 2, I don't know, it will be 200 gold. So it helps the players, or it gives the players which spend a lot of time into these crews, gives a lot more back, while newbies don't get too much from it, yet they gain a lot out of it because they have 6 cents for free, and they maybe have a completely rebalanced crew system with no 50% crews anymore, which hinder their tanks immensely. Yeah. High level content. They want to give something within the next 2 years, something to satisfy people like me. I have every single tank unlocked in the game. Obviously, I don't have everybody in my garage because that would be stupid. But yeah, they want to give us something new. They want to do something more from metagame in Clan Wars, like if Game of Thrones-ish. I don't exactly know anything about Game of Thrones, so excuse me. Changes for for efficient players in ranked battles and so on. Interesting. They want to make it a regular mode, maybe something like in League of Legends. I would see that nicely, and more opportunities to spend bonds, which is also pretty neat. Followed up with the new bonds shop, which will come soon, and there will be no sales on bonds equipment, but we will get some tanks maybe. And it's speculated already 183, 155 Foch, and the 215B will come. But some people also said, yeah, maybe some Sherman, like the ones back in the days, like the beta rewards. And then I have to say, Well, yes, beta players will be pissed off again, but how often did they shaft at beta players anyway? Yeah. Anyway, 183 Foch and 215B will probably be in this Bond's shop. What tanks are going to get nerfed, what buff? We need to test ammo rebalance first. All vehicles change depend on this test. So yeah, we have to wait for that, even though we get some changes to the FV. Historical battles will make actually as return as a PvE mode. I do like this. Not much info about this. Challenges though, like the chain missions for the EBR, etc, etc. This is a complete lie. High skill players succeed in missions, get a new premium tank for free. That's fucking bullcrap. I'm pretty certain that I can say from myself that I'm a high skill player. I made it up to 70%. Why? Because those missions, like those skill missions, are not really skill missions. It's just like you get lucky. And most of the missions I did were on the hard route or the consistency route anyway. Yeah, average player make certain progress and get the premium at a lower price, or in the EPR sense at 50% off, which is even still more expensive than a normal light would be. And those who want to buy it outright, they can pay the full price, which is $62, which is a AAA game, which is basically the double for a premium tank. Congratulations. I hate those missions. I hate these ideas, to be honest. It's not good because, again, it totally smacks a premium tank out. Like, most of the players got 50% and brought it for 50% and still paid more than a regular light tank would. More to that, I already did a video about it. I do not want to get too deep into that. Rapid fire Q&A, master meter. There will be a visual master meter that the player could have on their vehicle, but it's not in 2019. Like another gun mark thing, another EP-ness. I don't like this. Training room for one person. No, it's too much onto the server. Understandable, I guess. Testing a premium tank before purchasing, no such plans. At least in War Thunder you are able to have a look and play it a little bit in a little room where nothing is moving and you have some targets. Server replays, I do not want to get into that because I have no understanding of what is asked here. Mechanics to restore vehicles that got stuck to turn over. I don't think it's a massive issue, but yeah. They want to return and resolve this issue with the friendly fire and maybe consider an indicator to inform teammates in the team list. Okay, that's decent. I do think though we need a rope. Like, I don't even care if it's a logical rope. Like, just get a friend or somebody and it presses the rope button and pulls a little bit backwards and the tank flips over. I don't give a shit about if this is looking good or not, or it doesn't make sense. This is an arcade game and it's fucking frustrating when I flip myself, even standing on the side, and nobody can push me over because it's too slippery, or I don't know. So yeah, I do hope the changes come here. No voice chat in random battles. Why fun modes aren't fun? Well, yeah, the Halloween was too grindy in my personal opinion, hence why it was bleh. The last one, the other one where we had the multi-turrets, that was fun. So yeah, that's why they use PvE, also probably for the historical mode. Yeah, 3D, we are working on a Battle Royale mode. Honestly, I do think the train is already over, but then again, fuck, man. Like, I had so much fun playing this gosh darn Battle Royale mode. It's actually not funny anymore. Like, I had a lot of fun playing it. So I do think it's a good thing that this mode could come and it could have a nice little thing for new players. Like, I do like that mode. And I do like what they came there. Like, it has potential. So, woo! 3D customization, it's pricey and time consuming, but will continue to add new sets. Please do, because it's a good way to monetize your game. Rebalance for tier 6 and tier 8. Once again, first, ammo replacement, revision of MM should also improve a little bit. Battle of Bloggers, it will return, but in a slightly different format. I don't care about that. No changes to chat and friend list in 2019. And obviously, the last question, which we always have. Will plus minus 25% RNG get removed? No, it won't. Not like in World of Tanks Blitz, where it's 10% apparently. That's everything. It's a long video, 29 minutes, no, 30 minutes right now. Thank you so much for your attention. Let me know what you think about those changes. And yeah. Thank you for your attention and good luck on the battlefield, and I'll talk to you all soon or later. We will see.